all of their computer models, okay, which I'm not privy to. I haven't looked at those as of late, but all of them say that will be developing into something. I'll let you know what happens, but as of right now, we've got way too much on our plates if we're going to worry about that. It's a tropical system. We watch it, and that's all we can do. All right, what's going on elsewhere across the tropics? Right there, the Windward Islands, and they talk about an area of disturbed weather stretching all the way toward the coast of Africa, and it looks probably, if you're sitting at home and you are able to be watching TV, you're thinking, boy, that looks like it could be something, but it's not. The wind shear, the upper level wind shear, beating this apart, and it's not able to get any kind of organization or rotation going, so we're not going to worry about that at all. As I said, the only thing that they're talking about, that area right there, okay? Far, far from us. But I'm just letting you know what an active hurricane season it's been. It's not over until November 30th, and they're thinking now, although you're in the declining portion of the hurricane season, they do think that may very well develop. I'll let you know. All right, our forecast today, 57 and cool out there right now. Beautiful again at 75, a cool night forecast at 61 degrees. Boaters, well, smoke out advisory is in effect, but they say until 3 p.m. That's from the National Weather Service, and it's primarily because of the seas. Not close to shore where they're about 2 to 4 feet, but 9-foot seas right now in the Gulf Stream. Northerly breezes about 10 to 15 knots. You've got a moderate chop on the bay and a surf temp at 79. Now, a lot of times we look at that surf temperature during hurricane season. And think about it. We've seen it at times running 81, 82, 83, 84. I mean, it just gets so, it's like bath water out there. When you get below 80 degrees, that's good for us. You want to be below the 80-degree mark because for the most part, this is sort of a general statement, but they look at 80 degrees or warmer for the water to spawn tropical development. So at 79, we feel pretty good. But that is close enough that you can still do it. It's just, if you're a betting person, you don't bet on 79 degrees. You want to watch for 80 degrees or higher. But since none of us want any tropical activity, we want 79 or lower. How's that? The 6-day forecast is a good one with nice weather continuing around here. Only some slight shower chances, but I will tell you that there's going to be a gradual warming and moistening of the atmosphere, and that will take place by late weekend. But all that means that we go back to average temperatures, like Tuesday's high of 85. That's just about where we should be this time of year. So enjoy the cool weather. We've got it for at least a couple more days. Ladies, over to you.
All right, Lonnie, thank you.
Diana Gonzalez is one of the folks who are waiting in those very, very long lines for gasoline. She is in Miami-Dade County. Do we have Diana on the line? Well, we'll get her in just a few minutes, but as I understand, we have a lot of information to impart to you, and I know so many of you are listening to us on the radio. I'm one of them at home, so I can sympathize with you, and I know when I tune in, I just kind of want the very latest information, news that I can use. So,
exactly.
Yeah,
so we're going to give some of that to you right now before we are able to get to Diana and to see what the situation is like with the gasoline lines. We're going to bring some of that up for you right now. We can tell you that, those curfews in both Miami-Dade and Broward remain in effect right now. In Broward County, it's 7 to 7. That's easy to remember. So 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Miami-Dade County, it's 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. So those remain in effect. And here's the latest with the school situation.
Now, we know that schools in both Broward and Dade County are closed through Friday. And this is an issue that I want to talk about, the boil water advisory in Monroe and Broward. I bet if you're sitting there listening in Broward County, you're saying, hey, fools, how can we boil our water if we have no electricity?
Right.
You know, when you get your hurricane supplies and one of them on the list is bleach, and you're holding the bottle of bleach saying, now, why did I get this? Here's why. If you have been issued a boil water order and you need water to drink, here's what you do. I logged onto the Centers for Disease Control website early today, and the formula is take 1/8 of a teaspoon, and I'm talking 1/8 of a teaspoon of bleach, which is practically nothing.
Right.
You do not want to overdo it. 1/8 of a teaspoon of bleach to every gallon of water for clear drinking water. Now, the ratio of bleach to water is much higher if you need it for cleaning.
Okay.
However, if you're going to take a shower and you're lucky enough to have shower water, you can take a shower in the water. However, don't get it near your eyes, mouth, or nose when you take a shower.
Or even your ears, I was reading too, because it can cause an ear infection.
Keep it away from all orify
yeah.
When you take a shower. But as far as the drinking water is concerned, and you have no power to boil it, 1/8 of a teaspoon of bleach per 1 gallon of water.
Right, and don't forget too, when you are you need to drink water, it's got to be the disinfected water or the bottled water, and please don't forget your pets, and don't brush your teeth with that tap water either. You want to use that disinfected water that Kelly was just talking to you about how to disinfect, so that's very important. I think we're going to try to get to Diana Gonzalez once again. Do we have Diana on the phone for us? No. All right, well, we're going to try to hook up with her in just a little bit. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with more information.
get started now.
This is me, 54 pounds heavier and a size 16. This is me, 54 pounds lighter and a size 8. LA Weight Loss gives you the power to control your weight loss. Now that I'm thinner and happier, everybody in my life is benefiting. I lost 54 pounds in 30 weeks. If I can do it, you can do it too. Just pick up the phone and call.
Let's get started now.
LA Weight Loss Centers. Call for your free consultation. 1-800-526-SLIM.
Dirt Devil took America's best-selling broom vac and gave it a new beat. With a long battery life and more suction, you can sweep, then vac to clean in double time. And with 9 fresh color options, you can get one to match the rhythm of your life. The Dirt Devil Broom Vac, how you fight dirty.
My name is Giovanni Maladesta, and I have a confession to make. The other day, one of my dearest customers opened the wrong door. Unfortunately, he saw something he should have never seen. He saw us using the best olive oil from Andalusia, Spain. So we did what we had to do. We took care of him. Enjoy the olive oil, Danny.
Now at the Art Marketplace, buy spectacular art with no payments and no interest for 6 months. Discover the largest selection of art and custom framing. Save 30 to 70% every day. In Davie, 595 and University Drive, next to Home Depot, and in Delray Beach.
Isn't it interesting? Everyone is running around trying to understand the new Medicare rules. Meanwhile, CarePlus members are taking it easy by staying put. CarePlus always gave you different plans to choose from. That isn't going to change. And CarePlus was always first with new benefits. That's not changing either. In fact, CarePlus has some exciting new plans in the works for 2006. You'll see. So call CarePlus. Get the choices you want, plus the answers you need.
Every day, your body's natural defenses are challenged. But every morning, you can help strengthen them with delicious Dan Active. About 70% of your immune system is in your digestive tract. And Dan Active, with LKCI Defenses cultures, is clinically proven to help naturally strengthen your body's defense system, which can't hurt. Dan Active helps strengthen your body's defenses.
City Furniture has irresistible prices on entire collections for your home.
The Palm Bay collection features 2 spectacular bedroom suites, a beautiful dining room set, matching wall unit, and coordinating sofa group.
Plus, City Furniture now offers same-day delivery, 7 days a week, and no payments for 1 full year.
Live. This is NBC6 continuing coverage of Hurricane Wilma.
And welcome back. Pam Giganti along with Kelly Craig. We know many of you are listening to us on 87.7 FM, and we thank you for being with us on these days after Hurricane Wilma, trying to get everybody back to normal as soon as possible and imparting some very important information to you. And one of those has been where to get gasoline. We've seen in some areas folks waiting in really long lines, and then by the time they get there, there is no more gas at the station. So we want to continue to give you the information on where you can get gas. And apparently Diana Gonzalez has found one of those gas stations.
Yes, except we're also in this long line hoping to get gas because, you know, we've been running around in our news vehicles, of course, during and after the storm, and we're close to empty. So we found a gas station right off of US 1 and 57th Avenue. This one seemed to have a line that wasn't too bad, because some of the other ones that we saw along the way, and there were really only a handful, had lines that stretched for blocks and blocks. And in fact, some people were getting in line at gas stations that weren't even open and didn't even have electricity, with the hope that eventually it'll open. So the situation in terms of the gas is, is pretty difficult, pretty challenging at this point. And as I said, we have now joined one of these long lines.
Diana, can you tell us what's the name of the gas station of where you are? I know you said US 1 and 57th Avenue.
It's a mobile gas station right near the University of Miami.
Okay. And do you see a lot? I'm sorry. Do you see a lot of people waiting in line with those red gas cans?
Oh yes. As a matter of fact, at this station, they have placed a limit. They're now only letting you fill up your car or your truck and one of those portable cans, because people were showing up with dozens of these cans in the back seats of their car and the trunks of their car. And taking time and taking the gas and just slowing up the process. And I hear that at this station yesterday there was a long line, as there is today, and that some people waited over an hour, and by the time they got up to the pump, there was no gas. So I'm hoping that is not going to be the case for us today. The good news is that I did find a little place that was open that is serving café con leche.
Oh, great.
So at least I have that in hand.
Exactly. And Diana, when you were driving up to that gas station right there near the University of Miami, did you come up US 1 from Southwest Miami-Dade? Because I know that there are several gas stations along that route. There are two of them, I know, on US 1 and 104th across from each other. I think there's like a Mobil and a Shell. I'm just wondering if you took that route and if you saw any other stations that were open.
No, the route that we took was, we were actually at the Dade County Emergency Operations Center early this morning. Okay. So we were in the Doral area and just took 87th Avenue down.
Okay.
And that's where we ran into some of the really long lines. One of the stations, the gas station, that's on Bird Road and 92nd Avenue, line stretched all the way down to 87th Avenue.
Wow.
So we got in that very briefly and decided, now this isn't going to work, and we left, and just trying to look for other locations. And as I mentioned, there were lines at stations that weren't even open.
Right. You know what? And we saw from Joe Harzinski earlier, he did a piece on a station where he was yesterday, and folks actually, because they were waiting in line for such a long period of time, cranked up the music. They got out of their cars. They started talking with each other. What are you seeing right now in these long lines? Are people turning off their cars maybe to conserve gas and getting out and talking to anybody, or not yet?
I see that some people are out of their cars and talking. Somebody ran out of their car to go get coffee in this one place that I told you about and treated me to the cup of coffee.
Oh, that was nice.
So that was very nice. Everybody seems to be in fairly good spirits. Yesterday I was at another gas station, this one on 17th Avenue in US 1, and there were some hot tempers around, people claiming that others were trying to get in and cut through the line, that kind of thing. But so far, this is very orderly. Everybody seems very pleasant. There are South Miami police officers here directing traffic, so everything's under control. Just hoping we get the gas we're waiting for.
Well, all right, Diana, thank you so much for giving us that update, and I want to ask any gas station that happens to be open right now to please call us and let us know, because of all the questions that are coming into NBC6. That is the number one. Where can we get gasoline? People are just, afraid to drive around and look because you're using up the precious gas. And by the same token, they need the gas to get around. So if you have that, we would love to impart that information to our viewers. And Diana, thank you so much. Good luck to you.
You were asking me about people walking and talking. I just saw a woman passing around little Cuban coffee cups to some of the people in line. Wait a minute, and here is a recipient of one. You're on NBC6. Hold on a second. What did you think of that act of kindness this morning?
Oh, it was wonderful. I wish I knew that woman's name. I'd tell the world that she was great. My name's Laverne Bose, by the way, and I'm sitting in line and having a great time with the kids. Everyone's been wonderful, and everyone's got great spirits, so I'm happy.
Thank you. At least the weather is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Diana, at least it is. And, because we have certainly seen that when the temperatures are hot, that the tempers. I was looking for that word. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, temperatures and tempers are equally as hot. So it is nice that the weather has been cooler. Diana, we wish you luck. We hope you get your gasoline. It's nice to hear that everybody so far is being polite and mannerly. And, on your drive, obviously, if you see any other gas stations up and running, let us know, okay?
Will do.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, Diana, thanks very much. You know what, like so many of you who may be listening this morning, I'm a boat owner, and if you have a boat in your backyard loaded with gas, you're probably thinking, oh, how can I get the gas out to put in my generator, to put in my car? There actually is a way, and it involves a pump that you can get at an auto parts store. Now, the problem is, auto parts store, like everything else, are probably out of electricity and not open. My husband happened to have done this long in advance, and it involves a pump. I just talked to him on the phone. He's going to call in a few minutes to say how this whole thing works, but it involves buying some sort of device at an auto parts store, and then he will tell us how to actually do that. Right now, at this stage, as I said, very difficult to find an auto parts store that's open. But if we're getting down, remember, boats can hold a lot more gas than a car. It's funny, when you go out on a boat, people say, oh, I'll pay for the gas. No, no, no.
Maybe several $100s.
Several $100 because, and that's the good news, these tanks can hold hundreds of gallons of gasoline, 400, 500 gallons.
So you might be thinking, where can I find an open gas station? And you've got several or perhaps hundreds of gallons, like you said, in your boat, which is parked next to your house, which you may not have thought of.
However, well, I bet almost everybody who has a boat is thinking the same thing. How do I get the gas out? And I want to caution you and say, be very, very careful. This is not anything you want to try, having not done it before, without that special device. I mean, because think about it. We're talking about gasoline. It's very, very hazardous. You don't want to rig anything up just to get it out of there and try your best. There is a system to do it. There are devices for it, but it has to be done professionally, or as professionally as it can be done, given the directions. So as soon as I know more information, I will impart it to you. But my husband said the first thing to do, if you can, is get to an auto parts store, see if they are open, and then ask about those converters there.
But once again, be very careful.
Absolutely. Boy, this is nothing you want to fool around with.
You know, we've been saying, call us if you hear about gas stations that are open. Here's the number to call. It's the one that we give to you all the time, our NBC6 Hurricane Helpline. Keep it handy, 954-622-6621. 622-6621. Give us a call, and we are going to pass along that information to everybody else.
Martha Sigowski is standing by, with more information on some things beginning to open. Martha?
Yeah, Kelly, I hope people call and use that number, because I can't tell you how many phone calls we've been getting at the desk up in the newsroom. People calling, hey, where can we go to a gas station to get some gas? Because people need the gas to actually be flowing and pumping. And if there's no electricity, the gas stations could be open, selling warm soda or chips, and may not need electricity, but folks are really desperate to find out where the gas is actually being pumped. I can tell you right now what is open. If you're a shopper and you have some gas in your tank, you can go to the Dadeland Mall, the International Mall. They'll be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I understand that the Halloween House of Horror, I believe that's what it's called, will be open from 2 to 6. So Halloween's right around the corner. I understand they will be open. Also, I just took a phone call from a woman who asked me, when are we going to get our mail? And I just got off the phone with Bridget Robertson from the U.S. Post Office, and she told me that, what is this saying? Sleet, snow, rain, Wilma. They will be delivering the mail today, which is good news for folks. Some services may be limited, but in Miami-Dade County, Broward County, and Monroe County, the mail will go on. They will be on foot if need be, and they can't get the vehicles down roads. That's what's going to be happening. As for the retail facilities for the post office, they are closed, but officials are telling me that they hope to be open by tomorrow, because right now much of those facilities are operating on generators. I understand my producer, Raph, Aventura Mall is also open. We took a phone call from someone who has their wedding coming up, and she wanted to know when the Bal Harbour shops would be open, because her wedding dress is sitting at Saks right now and she can't get to it. So if someone from Bal Harbour knows when they'll be opening, that would be nice if you could give us a call so we could tell Jordan if she'll be able to pick up her wedding dress for her upcoming wedding, which she desperately needs. In all of this, it would be nice that she'd be able to get married despite Wilma. But good news, the mail's going on today. You'll be able to get your mail today. Again, those retail facilities will not be open at this point. They believe by tomorrow they will be open. And the Aventura Mall, the Miami Mall, Dadeland Mall, Miami International Mall will also be open from 10 to 6 p.m. So things trying to get back to normal. Also, there'll be a mobile insurance clinic open at 10:30 this morning. The address, 6901 West Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Tom Gallagher will be there. He's the insurance commissioner. He's also, I do want to point out, running for governor. He will be there as well. It will be a mobile insurance clinic opening at 10:30 in about an hour at 6901 West Sunrise Boulevard. That is in Plantation. Again, I'm going to go back up to the news desk, take some more phone calls. And as you know, Kelly and Pam, things are opening by the hour, by the minute. So as soon as we get more information, I'm also trying to compile a list of gas stations that are actually pumping gasoline right now. In fact, Bob Mayer left because he's on fumes, so he is looking for a spot right now to fill up his vehicle. So as soon as we can get information on stations that are actually flowing right now with gasoline, I will bring that list to you and pass it on
thank you, Martha. Maybe Bob will call in when he finds a
Is that what I was smelling, Bob's fumes?
All right, Kel.
Jaylene Rodriguez is at Markham Park. Jaylene, what's going on there?
Hi there. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, everyone.
Wow.
Well, things are going very smoothly. Thank goodness. It seems like everybody is patient. At the moment, the reason why you don't see any cars behind me, they actually had to stop traffic momentarily because they had to unload some ice. So that's certainly good news. There's plenty of supplies here, plenty of water and ice. Now, I want to introduce you to an interesting gentleman that we met out here, the National Guard. Hey, Odie? Odie? Come on over. The National Guard, they're doing a great job. These guys are loading the ice and water into people's vehicles, but this guy was nice enough to chip in and help. Odie, you were actually in the line and decided, heck, rather than wait, I'm going to go ahead and help?
Yes, basically, that's all it is.
How long had you been waiting?
Oh, I came yesterday and it was lines. It was all the way up to 136th Street, so I didn't wait. I had loaded a bit of gas. So I went home, got the other car. We've been here since 7:30, 7:45.
And your wife obviously is holding your spot in line, right?
Yes, she's driving up here. So she gets here, I'm out of here.
Odie, what has it been like at home without power?
Oh, terrible. I live in a mobile park and watch the roofs peel off. I watch one totally disintegrate. I lost my living room wall. It's buckled up, but I shored it back up with 2x4s and just waiting to get information about FEMA and assistance.
And certainly this is certainly helpful, I imagine, getting this ice. How necessary are these
well, I have a cooler,
supplies?
but it's been out. It's just so we can re-ice everything and keep everything cool, but there's a lot of people around us that don't have it.
What kind of reaction are you getting from the folks when you load up their trunk, you know, with all these
grateful.
supplies?
They're more than grateful to get it, but unfortunately you only can give them but so much. And we're here to help as best as we can.
Thank you, Odie. I'll let you get back to work. Thank you so much. So once again, I mean, the way it works, basically, there are still, I can see over there, still a lot of cars lined up on State Road 84. What happens is they sort of come around and about, and here we go, more bottled water. This is what they get. They get a case of water, which basically includes 24 smaller bottles of water, and they also get one large bag of ice, which includes 5 smaller bags of ice. Okay, there we go, loading it up. So once again, traffic at this point, you can't see any cars coming by because they have stopped it so that they could sort of reload here. The wait at this time is a little over than an hour. Now, this site is one of several sites across Broward County. We want to go ahead and kind of read the list to you so that if you're listening, we can find one near you. The first one on the list is North Community Park in Coral Springs, Quiet Waters Park on South Powerline Road in Deerfield Beach, Holiday Park on North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and the Hollywood Jog Track in Hollandale. For you folks in Hollywood who may need water and ice, Dave & Buster's opening up at 9 o'clock this morning, obviously already open. Frank Madonna Park in Lighthouse Point, Miramar City Hall on Hiatus Road and Red Road, and of course we're at Markham Park in Sunrise. The BSO Substation 15 or the Collins Community Center in Oakland Park, Plantation Heritage Park or Rolling Oaks Park in Southwest Ranches, and Pompano Park Harness Track on Southwest 3rd Street, that's west of Dixie, and the Tamarack Community Center. Now, continue to stay tuned here on NBC6 because we will continue to read those sites to you continuously throughout the day. Also, keep in mind, if you're going to be coming out to one of these sites, you certainly want to be patient because it is going to take some time, anywhere from an hour to over 2 hours. So just be patient, and I know fuel is an issue. So if you could fuel up before, do so. And another thing that I think would be wise to bring along, and we keep repeating this, is probably a cooler. In this case, you don't actually walk up like at the orange Orange Bowl per se at that site that we were at yesterday. You come in your vehicle and they load it into your trunk, but still probably a good idea to go ahead and bring a cooler. That's the very latest from Sunrise. Jaylene Rodriguez, NBC 6.
All right, thank you, Jaylene. And once again, from that picture where Jaylene is, it's a spectacular day outside. And probably the other good thing is that right now, even if you look at that little bug on our screen, we are seeing that it's about 60 degrees outside right now. It's a cool day, and you see those pallets of ice out there. Clearly, they're not going to melt as quickly as they normally would on a normal South Florida day.
Listen, thank goodness for all of those National Guardsmen who are out there. Can you imagine their backs at the end of the day? Because as she said, they're going to be helping you load all those supplies into your car. What a great thing that they're doing. And if there is any silver lining to all of these storms they've been having with each event, we are becoming better prepared. And look how fast everybody has deployed. You'll remember even before the storm struck, FEMA was set up both in Jacksonville to the north and down here at Homestead. And boy, those trucks went out, you know, with a matter of hours. And now people are getting the help. It's just a shame that there's so many long lines.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, always lessons learned from these storms. And I was telling Bob earlier that I have a neighbor who I think had a really fantastic idea. Prior to the storm, she bought a bunch of water bottles and she froze those water bottles. So now she uses a large cooler and uses those water bottles as her ice. She has ice as well, but as you know, the ice melts more quickly. So she has water bottles that aren't frozen that they can drink, and she has these frozen water bottles acting to help keep everything cool. And then eventually when those melt, they'll be able to drink those, but it gives her some more time. And I just think it was a great idea to have the foresight to go ahead and freeze those water bottles. And actually she bought bags of ice as well early on, stuck those in the freezer. So rather than having to make a line, she's kind of got those supplies at least for the next few days.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know what? It's amazing the ingenuity that we all have learned. You talk about storm after storm. You become very, very clever. And for the folks in Broward County, this is the worst that's hit them since the 50s. And they're getting a taste of what Miami-Dade went through with Andrew, with what Miami-Dade went through post-Katrina. Yeah. So at any rate, hang in there, guys. We're going to continue to stay with you and impart the information. Let's check in on our weather now. Lonnie Quinn once again standing by with that.
Cal, I got to tell you, I'm just sort of hanging out here listening to you two. And Pammy, you know, you, Bob, and I learned from Bob the best thing to do for me personally, one of the things I picked up from him was to turn my freezer and my refrigerator as low as I could before the onset of the storm. It's kept it a little cooler. And now this thing, Pammy, you're telling me about freezing the water bottles, I think that's a great idea. And Pammy, you watch. Out of your mouths into people's ears, everybody's going to start doing that.
Hey, you know what, Lonnie, I hope so, and I think perhaps when we speak later on down the line, and hopefully this is it for us, and when we speak about next hurricane season, that might become part of the preparations. Go out and get some bags of ice ahead of time, put them in the freezer, freeze water bottles, maybe freeze some Gatorade, and have that help you to keep things cool.
And then undoubtedly, by just having those frozen bottles in your freezer, that's going to keep the ambient temperature inside there even cooler. I mean, it's an all-around good idea. And then when you are drinking water after it freezes, after it thaws out, it's cold water. 57 up to 75 today. It's going to be another day, nice weather with that cold front that pushed through the area, and it's still with us. Everything looking good in the area. If you take a look at the almanac page for this day in history, record high is 89 degrees. We're not going to go that high. We're not going to get out of the 70s. I'm going to go 75. The record low, 55 degrees. But look at this. Current temperature reading, we're now basically out of the 50s. It's about 60 to 64 degrees, depending on where you are right now. But we were down as low as 57. I actually heard, and it's not confirmed yet, we got to 56 at Miami International. If we got to 56, boy, look at that. We're only 1 degree away from setting a record low temperature for this day in history. The record high was set in 02, the record low set in 03, but not a year apart, actually. Look at that, 99 years apart. Record high 2002, record low 1903 there, 55 degrees. But I don't know if we broke, we're going to be close. We'll find out tomorrow morning around this time. 60 right now in Miami, 63 in Fort Lauderdale. Inland around Mexuki, you're still got some cooler temperatures, about 53 degrees and 46. That's your current temperature reading. That's an accurate reading right now in Tallahassee. All right, let's talk about what we're seeing out there in terms of the moisture, the humidity level, and we don't have it. Nice air mass on top of us. That's shown on this picture by the red. Whenever you see red, it's dry air. Where you see green, that's moisture. Now, you do see some green around the lower right-hand corner of your screen. If you're hearing my voice, I'm pointing to an area right around the eastern tip of Cuba, but It's nothing tropical in nature. It's a frontal boundary, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So that, I don't want to get anybody's hair standing up on end. Satellite and radar image for the state of Florida is beautiful. We don't really see